starting, and I don't really think that's a secret. Cut the cameras. I think I need a break, but I also don't need a break. I need to keep reading. Hello, my name is Taylor. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting a very fun video because today I am starting acotar series. I'm reading the first book. I just picked this up from Target this morning. I have no idea what I'm getting myself into. I know little to nothing about this other than that there is fae and that this is an extremely popular series. I also know that books 6 and 7 or 7 and 8 are coming out in October this year. So I definitely want to get started because I know this is a very beloved series. I know this is a lot of people's favorite series. I know this is a series that got a lot of people into reading as an adult. I recently just finished the Emily Wilde series by Heather Fawcett, which was the first series that I've read as an adult. So I'm super excited to get into another one. I didn't realize how much I've missed being in fantasy worlds and reading series and knowing that when you're finished with the book, the story continues. That feeling is so unmatched. So I'm super excited to start this today. I made myself a little coffee. I was gonna go buy a coffee and I was gonna go sit in a coffee shop and start this book, but I was like, no, we need to lock in. We need to be coz-maxing. We need to be prepared for what we're about to endure. So I do have pretty high hopes for this book and for Sarah J. Maas in general. I know a lot of people like the acotar series more than the Iron Flame series, if that's what it's called. I'm not really sure. So nonetheless, I'm super excited to form my own opinions about this book and to learn more what it's about because I really know nothing and I'm just honestly gonna go into it blind. But I'm so excited. Today is April 20th, 2026. And I can't wait to bring you along. It has been 2 days since I first started reading acotar and I'm about 20% of the way in, and I figured that I would try to give updates every 20%. Don't ask me why that's the percentage, maybe 20 to 25% really, but I figured I'm enough of the way in that I could provide an update so far. So as you can see, this is how much I've read. I guess this would probably be a better indicator. But according to Fable, I am 20% of the way in. I'm on page 97. I'm not even through the chapter that I'm on, so like providing an update kind of seems a little weird right now, but I'm in the middle of chapter 9 right now, and currently we are following Feyre, I believe is how you say the main character's name, and she is speaking with Lucian? I think it's Lucian. That's how I say his name in my head. And they're at like the horse stables and she's trying to convince him to convince Tamlin to find a loophole through the treaty, and Lucian's basically just like, okay, can't help you here. So we're not really getting anywhere with this conversation. Didn't really think we would, honestly. But it's really interesting seeing Feyre adapt to the world of Fae and also try to escape it. I'm finding that really interesting, is like this dichotomy of her feeling like she needs to fulfill this oath that she gave her dying mother, and also realizing that the world that she's in currently, it doesn't feel safe, but it's already providing her so much more than what she could get if she went back to her own world. So I just find that really interesting. And the first, like 80 or so pages of this have been really interesting, following Feyre through her journey of growing up in poverty. But what I find so interesting about this is that Feyre actually grew up wealthy, experienced poverty for years, learned how to make a living for her family as the youngest, and then is suddenly back in this world of wealth. But it's just obviously different. I'm just finding that really interesting because I feel like typically in fantasy, you just see them living in poverty first, or like just living in wealth first. So it's interesting to see like her start in this more like wealthy, higher tax bracket, and then experience this massive poverty and just this extremely difficult way of living, and then suddenly kind of be like unwillingly transported into this world of Fae where she's suddenly kind of experiencing that again. I'm just finding that really interesting because I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of feelings that come up for her as she experiences this again, because she was quite young when they lost everything. So yeah, I'm just finding that really fascinating. And obviously I know these books get some spice to them. I knew that going into it, but I definitely am sussing out a vibe between Feyre and Tamlin, and I don't really think that's a secret at all, but I could be so wrong, but I don't think I am. And if I am, then I'm confused. But yeah, so far so good. I'm only 20% of the way through. I plan to read quite a bit more today. Try to probably get another 10 to 20% of the way through, and then I'll provide you with an update probably when I'm closer to like the 40 to 50% mark. I have a feeling that something's about to happen though, because it's been a couple pages and things are going okay, and that's just not how it works in fantasy, okay? But yeah, I'll provide you with an update when I have one. Hopefully you can hear me all right over my AC. It's like kind of trying to work extra hard. It's a little humid outside. It's trying to kick on because it's humid, but it's like not too hot. It's so besides the point. Anyway, I wanted to give you an update because I'm 35% of the way in, and the last time I spoke to you yesterday, I was on page 87. So now I'm on page 148. I'm on chapter 17 now. It's so funny because where I left you at, like immediately after chapter 9, it picks up so quickly, and it pretty much stayed like that for the next like 7 chapters or so, where it was just like constantly like high stakes stuff happening, and I really enjoyed it. I've never been like so like afraid of what's happening in a book, I should say. Like the descriptions of some of these characters, I'm like, ooh, that's a little spooky, okay? But it kept me on the edge of my seat. I was like reading like this, and I was like like just trying to get through it. Anyway, so it's going really well, and it's so funny because the last time I had spoken, I was like, oh, I don't want to sound stupid, like if this whole Feyre and Tamlin thing isn't happening. Literally the last page that I ended on, I underlined the beginnings of something happening. So yeah, just like the feels. I'm not wrong. My intuition was there. Not that the intuition could have been that skewed, I feel, because it was pretty obvious that we got a little softy in this man, I feel. So I don't know. I'm really enjoying it so far. I feel like I'm super giddy right now. I am super excited though. I'm going to spend the majority of today reading before I have to go to work. I woke up pretty early this morning, which is like ideal because now I feel so much less guilty about just reading so much. So it's only 9 a.m. and I'm gonna see how much I can comfortably read today. Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm literally like scared to read on because it's getting it's getting so romantic. It's getting, they're falling and it's making me giggle and kick my feet. And I'm scared to read on because it's so good. It's so good. Why am I giggling like this? Oh my god. It's so good. I'm on page 185 in the first the first sentence. If y'all open up your books, read the first sentence of page 185 of A Court of Thorns and Roses. I pretty much just facepalmed and I kind of wish I would have gotten that on video, but I legit was like, why? Why? What are we doing? But I get it. Like, this book is really putting me through it this morning. There is so much that is happening in the small percentage that I have read. Oh my god. On page 194, cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. I'm so nervous right now. Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna try to get my reactions the next time because cut the cameras right now. Okay. What? Okay, now we're past page 197. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. And what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? We're about to find out. We're about to find out. So don't worry. Don't worry. Oh, she's in a dress now. She's in a dress. Ooh, Talon's about to lose his shit, huh? Okay. Okay, I have waited until my AC unit shut off so that way I could give you a 50% update. According to Fable, I'm like 49% of the way through, but I'm on page 207. Chapter 23 is the next chapter that I have to read, so we're calling that 50%. Y'all, so much has happened since I last read this yesterday. When I had picked it up, I mentioned this earlier, last night it started like really picking up the pace after page like 90. It was just like really like, yeah, the pace definitely picked up in the book. Oh, and then since I have read it this morning, oh my goodness, so much has happened. The spice is picking up. Like, we're just getting inklings of it at this point. Like, they haven't like, you know, whatever. It was just the right, what was it called? Like columni or something like that? Okay, yeah, so the Fire Knight, Calanmai, and like the Great Rite, I was not expecting that. Like the whole story that Lucian was telling Feyre about what they do during the Great Rite. Okay, was not expecting that. I was expecting murder, not... I'll know. I'm not gonna, whatever. It's literally making me blush. But anyway, it's so good. I am literally eating up every single thing. I totally understand why people are enthralled with Sarah J. Maas. Maas? I actually don't know how to say her last name, so forgive me. I'm gonna try to figure that out. But yeah, I'm totally understanding the hype. Y'all, I'm sad. I have no plans to stop reading this at this point. Like, I know some people say that it does like dip down as you kind of read further in the stories and then it like picks back up. But right now I am in that point where like I'm feeling like I am on this part of the roller coaster. Like, we're going up. Like, we could stay here, we could go up. We're going up. We're going up. I'm really enjoying my time with this. I'm really glad that I picked it up when I did. And I fear that I'm going to have to immediately pick up the second book when I'm finished with this. And it's gonna be so crazy because with the speed at which I'm reading this, I read only about like 2 books a month. The speed at which I'm reading this, I can see myself being done with the second book by the end of the month, and it's April 23rd right now, so we have a week left of April, and I am just like, yeah, I am flying through this, and the idea that I have 4 more books that are already out and published after this one is so satisfying, and knowing that there's going to be 2 more after that this fall. Yeah, it's just a good reading year, I fear. I'm having a great time. I love being in this world, and I'm loving the character development of Feyre and the banter between her and Lucian and the tenderness between her and Tamlin so far, and like that understanding. I just love it so much. I'm really having a great time. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to read this a little bit today, and then I'll come back when I'm a little bit further with some updates. feel like I need to go touch grass after chapter 27. That second to last sentence. Ooh. I'm so unwell. Like, y'all, I was not expecting to be, like, this entranced in this book. Chapter 27 was, like, that was a whole journey. Chapter 26 and 27. That was a whole journey. Ooh, I don't know if I can keep reading, y'all. Like, I think I need a break. But I also don't need a break. I need to keep reading. Oh my god. Okay, so much has happened since the last time I updated this. Yeah, I'm 72% of the way through, and I've read 8 chapters since I last picked up this, because I'm on chapter 35, page 304, and the last time that I made an update was the end of chapter 27, which was page 248. So it's definitely been a hot minute. I was just flying through those pages because so much happened. I already will put in the title of this video that there are spoilers, but basically I'm at the point in the book where Feyre was sent back home and like was trying to go back to normal and anything. Anyway, yada yada yada, time goes by, there's a ball, Nesta comes in clutch randomly, and now she is back in Prithian, and she just got beat up. She just got beat up real bad. The last thing we saw is basically like Feyre was a pinball in a fucking pinball machine with punches and cracking bones and all that shit. So she is under the mountain, and Amarantha is kind of how I'm saying her name. They've had their meeting. She sees Tamlin. Tamlin is like, he's got this glaze over him, and Feyre has just agreed to do as Amarantha says, complete these quests, tasks, whatever you want to call it, or answer this riddle. And that's where I'm at in the book right now. This just went by so fast. Like, I don't even know where the past 50 plus pages went, honestly. So much happened so fast. We have this I love you to 50 pages of like here, there, super high stakes, like, oh my god. So I'm just eating this up. I did not expect to read as much as I have today. I read like probably, oh my god, I don't even know, like probably over 150 pages just this morning, the past like 3.5 hours. So yeah, needless to say, A Court of Thorns and Roses is going really well. I was choking back tears on that, what I underlined earlier. Y'all already saw that, but now I'm just like, oh, what's gonna happen? What are these tasks? Like, there has to be a happy ending because there's so many other books. But like, that doesn't mean people aren't gonna get hurt. Also, this is just kind of like a side note, all of the side characters in this book I have just really grown to love. Like Lucien, however you say his name. Oh my god, like that man, I love him and Feyre's banter so much. Alice, it went for sure from like this enemies to friends, and I just really appreciate that. I'm just really loving like the addition of these side characters and how much they're like helping move the story along, because Alice had explained so much of the curse to Feyre in the past 50 pages, and I just like am really enjoying how these side characters' dialogues with Feyre are moving the story along. And also, this is just another side note, I really like that this book is written in first person. I think if it was written in third person, I wouldn't feel as attached to these feelings that Farah is feeling. So I just really appreciate that, because I've noticed that when I read third person, sometimes it's like I'd rather like be in that first person kind of viewing things as they're viewing it, rather than like all of these separate characters. So I'm just really appreciating that as like a side note as well. But only have about like 28% of the way left, and then this book is done. But I'm forcing myself to eat lunch because I've simply become that part of engrossed with the book where like I wasn't drinking water, didn't move my eyes off the book, had been sitting like a shrimp for so long. So forcing myself to eat lunch because we gotta do that. So I'll talk to you again when I have more updates, because I'm sure I'm gonna have a lot of feelings in these last 28%, 100 plus pages. I'm so scared. Okay, somehow I blinked and I am 88% of the way through the book. I think I was at 35% this morning when I started this video, and I am now at 88%. I am on chapter 41. I just got to chapter 41. So Farah has just finished the second task, and also I'm about ready to go to work. That's why I'm dressed in this. But it is so much higher stakes than I was expecting, but I'm really liking it because it's making me anxious, which obviously nobody likes feeling anxious, but it's like, it's hard to look away. Like, I want to keep reading, I want to keep turning the pages, and yeah, I'm totally understanding the hype for sure now. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, so I probably won't have time to read anymore today, but I'm really excited to probably finish this tomorrow morning. Just like can't even believe how good this is, and that I am 88% of the way through now. That's insane. Page 370 is what I'm on now. Like, what? I don't know how that happened, but I'm not mad about it. Honestly, I feel like I'm back in middle school binging like Divergent and Harry Potter. Like, and I'm absolutely eating this up. I love it. Okay, as you will have seen, I finished this book last night, and oh my goodness, 5 stars. 5 stars. Like, what? It was so good, and I just wasn't expecting to love it as much as I did. I kind of went into it with like high expectations because everybody, you know, and their dog loves this book, but I didn't really know what it was about. So I had more like low expectations for how I was going to feel. I assumed the writing was going to be good, which it is phenomenal. Like, it's so good. And also the acknowledgments, it mentions that Sarah J. Maas was like 22 when this was published or something. Like, it took me a while to process that. When I read it, I was like, whoa, 22? 22? That's crazy. That's crazy, actually. But yeah, no, I absolutely love this book. I wanted to sit down and kind of formulate, like, looking back at the whole book now, what I truly think about it. I think setting this book up the way that she did went so well with the character development for Feyre, as well as for Tamlin, for Lucien, just like so many of the characters. Like, I feel like the way that the book started with Feyre in poverty really helped make the story what it was, because we got this sort of gratefulness and grit and strength and determination from Feyre, even in the trials that Amarantha had given her. Like, you saw so much of past Feyre defending her sisters, her dad, and like really fighting for them. Like, you really saw how much of a loving character she is, even though she seemed so hard on the outside. She really is, like, yeah, love is just like really guiding her. I just thought that her character development was really well thought out, and yeah, so many of the other characters, I just like, oh, I was aching toward the end. Oh my god, Lucien like begging for his life all of these times in the book. Like, he was going through it in this book, and I don't even want to know if it gets worse, y'all. I don't want to know. Protect my man. Like, stop. Also, like, looking at Feyre and Tamlin's relationship, like, I feel like it was the first time that Feyre just got to be herself and really relax anytime she was around Tamlin, even though when she found out that he was a High Lord, it was like stressing her out. But their relationship was just so tender, and seeing how much he was trying to protect her even while they were under the mountain with his stoicism. Yeah, I don't know, I just can't. And also Rysand, okay, yeah, like we stand Rysand. Yeah, Rysand really came in clutch at the end of the book. I really enjoyed his character development as well, because we kind of started to understand why he was helping Feyre the more you read. And I think that the way that Sarah J. Maas set up his character was also really thoughtfully planned out. And I'm really curious. I know this is what's going to keep me reading until the next book, is what did he see? What made him stumble back? Like, I need to know. I need to know. The fact that I literally devoured 65% of the book just yesterday alone, though, tells you all that you need to know about how much I loved this book. Like, this was so good. I haven't read a book in a long time where I just sat and devoured that much of a book in one sitting. I read a lot of like 5 stars in the past few years in books that I really love, but I haven't just sat down and just absolutely devoured a book like this in so long. So I'm super excited to go get the second book. I'm gonna go do that now. I should have just bought the box set. Didn't know I was gonna like it this much though. And I'll take you guys along for that as well. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed